Hello, and welcome back. We're back after a moment of time since we had to have a bit of a break. Mosquito. Okay, so yeah, most definitely. We had previous match. We're gonna go over it in just 1 second. But before that, instead of Chaka, who was a very great caster earlier, we're gonna be having our lovely Velocity. Hello, Velocity.
Hello, how are we?
We're doing pretty fine. I mean, before I mention you in on the last match, how do you think this match could go?
Oh, Maker Destiny versus Vega. I mean, we're on Clubhouse, a very, very good map. So this can go, either way. Really, let's be honest. I have no idea. We're going into the game which way it's going to go and what the likelihood is of the match.
Yeah, most definitely. Although the previous, let's hope it doesn't go as badly as the previous one. I mean, it was Myth versus, I do believe it was Need One Agency. So yeah, Myth ended up obliterating them. It was a 7-1. I don't want to be mean in any type of case and scenario, but Myth was just, there was a skill difference. We could see it. The positioning, the communication, and the frag potential from Myth wasn't there. Actually, from Need One Agency. So Myth just absolutely shredded. But let's actually focus on this match, as we're going to be seeing the first ban from the side of Vega Esports, and it's going to be Nook. It's a surprising ban, it would be a lot more common at Oregon. I would say here you would see maybe Dokkaebi, maybe Osa, maybe even stuff like Flores. But no, it's going to be a Nook and a Thatcher. So yeah, quite good. But I feel like there could be a bit more, I guess, universal bans.
Yeah, I mean, I think you obviously mentioned the Flores ban, and I think that's quite an interesting thing that they haven't banned the Flores, considering how utility-based this map can be. You've got a CCTV or even just placing that shield on top red, for example, kind of denies you half the map. So I'm kind of surprised that the Flores ban hasn't come out here. But on to the defensive bans and Solos, which is quite a standard ban. I mean, you'd expect nothing less. And on to the final ban, excuse me, we are going to be seeing Valkyrie.
Oh, I mean, so this is per usual. I mean, with the pre-play drone and kind of the amount of intel drones just give off, and I mean, she can even go from below and see the planter. It's absolutely off the point. Same goes for Valkyrie. Intel is absolutely off the hook. I mean, such small cameras to put in any type of corner, kind of hard to spot, and they have a very good just vision in general. So it's a very reasonable ban, to say the least. The lineups here are also going to start getting a bit more interesting as we head downstairs. I mean, the Zami, like we mentioned previous match, if the Solus is banned, if the Valkyrie is banned, there's always going to be a third very strong operator that manages to slip through it, and you should use it as much as possible. Be it Mira, be it Zami, Solus, Valkyrie, whatever it is, just use it when you still can.
Most definitely. Well, off to Church and Arsenal then for our first sight of tonight's match between these two. We are going to be seeing a Lucy being played. We don't see her being played too much now because of her nerf. She is now 1 speed with, which isn't the greatest for when you want to kind of run around. But she is very, very good on this site. You put your look at the Banshees on blue, you put them on main, and well, you kind of denied both of the main entry points into site, and let alone if you put one in dirt, it's kind of a free kill.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's kind of interesting how Melusi used to be able to run around the map like she was an Ashe player, and then they kind of nerfed her down all the way to gridlock level. So a bit of an interesting way to turn it all around, but balance is needed, and a bit of a change is always acceptable. So yeah, with that out of the hand, let's actually see what the attackers are going to be bringing in. And there it is. That's exactly what I meant. The Dokkaebi. Slip her in while you still can. The Ying, especially downstairs, like previous match, is a very good pick, especially for just the execute. And, it's a bit uncommon to see Sense, so maybe we're going to be seeing some nice action.
I was going to comment on that. Sen's managed to slip in on just underneath our noses, unmentioned and unnoticed. So I think that's especially for a site like Church and Arsenal, is quite an interesting pick. Kind of can deny any sort of line of sight, and well, I mean, I haven't seen Sen's been played too much, and especially on a map like Clubhouse, so I am quite interested to see how this goes. A bit of a strange plan coming out here from Maker Destiny. They open up the Logi hatch, but no one's really going for that Logi side. I'm going to assume it's just to clear out anyone else, but drones are out, and they haven't quite droned this army just yet. This could not be the greatest if they haven't droned it yet, and Lasmo is going to be looking around, and that finds the Azami, which is the first pick of the round.
Ooh, a very risky pick from the side there. I mean, the Dokkaebi with the diffuser alone. A very good operator with good gadgets going alone. The the diffuser. So that's, you know, it could end in a very bad manner. Just like the Melusi kind of getting dropped right now, a 5v3 for Make Your Destiny. Vega not looking too good. But yeah, you don't want to kind of go alone. I mean, okay, to do a bit more of a split push to apply pressure points from, you know, many areas, you got to do it. But with the diffuser, with the Dokkaebi, it's a bit of a questionable decision. Still work out though, and yeah.
Well, this Alibi is going to be in a quite an aggressive position and is going to be doing some damage. Does find low-key off the board. That's the Iana. That's not the biggest pick they could have found, but, you know, certainly not the worst they could have found. Does take a gunfight with Dokkaebi. Does come out on the back foot, going and taking a lot more damage. Sorry, stumbling over my words tonight. I mean, that was risky. Let's be honest, there, Bob. That was too close for comfort for my liking.
I mean, Dokkaebi was already in a similar situation with Azami, and then kind of continuing on that trend isn't really too good. Thankfully, Alibi just kind of headed out with a nice and safe, and also wasting some nice time. Doesn't matter though. A double kill coming in from the sledge. What a shot! Just going in with a sledgehammer. He's in sight, and pretty much what's the skate to do? It's a 3v1 side is taken. The Yings are coming out, so are the smokes, and with 30 seconds on the clock, he's just stuck in church just to get finished off by the Sens. And you know, I was kind of hoping to see some more Sens gadgets, but it seems like he couldn't even get much use of it as just the sludge went off the board.
Well, that was Shark. What a play. I mean, certainly the catalyst of that round. You know, he got those 2 kills and it kind of just allowed the entire team to sort of steamroll the remaining 2 players that were left alive. Nonetheless, it was still very, very good. And, you know, it really did just sort of was the catalyst for everything, was it not? Off to Church and Arsenal once again then. For Vega, they didn't look too confident. They looked too good on this site in the first round. So we're going to be seeing it one more time. This time bringing a Legion and a Warden for the adaptations to maybe even try and counter that side of Sens.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope we actually see it. We couldn't see much Sens since, you know, Daddy Shark decided to pull out the belt. So it was a bit of a rough one on the side of Vega. And they did manage. I mean, they kind of did a good time wasting upstairs, but of course the frags were not there, and they kind of just got shot down before they got an opportunity to clap back. So, you know, a bit of an unfortunate turn of events for them, but maybe they can kind of learn from their mistakes. Maybe Azami gets to be a bit more careful. I'm still surprised she didn't actually manage to take out Dokkaebi. I mean, she was kind of looking towards the side of the garage wall, which wasn't even open from what I remember. So, I mean, a questionable decision, but, you know, things can change, and things most definitely will, especially in the later rounds coming. Now, we're also going to be having a bit of operator changes. It doesn't seem like we're going to be having any more Melusis in that. The Melusi and Zami kind of get switched out for the, I believe it's the Legion and the Smoke, if I'm correct.
And we see Warden in play. We didn't see him last round, I don't believe, either.
Oh.
So we're seeing 3 adaptations with the Cade only now left in hand, but it's going to be interesting to see what Vega do, considering, you know, Make Your Destiny clearly have a very, very good roam clear, as they did. I'd say they did do quite a good job of clearing out the roam last round. You know, they did lose one to the who was it? It was Roman. The Alibi, yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to think, and it switched on. Yes, they did lose one to the Alibi, but I mean that was just a misdream. But then they did shift the focus onto the Alibi, and then did obviously force her back onto site. So it's going to be interesting to see what Vega Esports or how they adapt to this roam clear of Make Your Destiny into Freezer and Kitchen. Then they go to maybe even try and get the hatches.
Yeah, it was still interesting how normally roamers try to waste time, at the end they end up dying or maybe getting a frag or 2. This time Alibi just kind of went in for the Dokkaebi and managed to get away, and the Dokkaebi didn't want to play it too aggressively either because she's a very important aspect. And as we're speaking about the Devil, Dokkaebi taking out the Alibi, kind of, you know, not letting her slip by into sight, at least not this time, as of course that's one of the roamers, and they're still trying to be very clear on just trying to, you know, open up as much safety as possible for them. I mean, the Smoke right now on main stairs is going to be a bit of a threat, but not just yet. I mean, he seems to be getting very close and very comfortable on the side of main, and I mean, seconds away from taking out that sledge. We don't see many C4s, though, on the side of, you know, defense, which C4s, you know, you can't really implement just all the defenders with C4s and bada boom, bada bing, you have the strategy, but, you know, C4s are good for anti-verticality.
Well, one C4 was used onto the kitchen hatch previously, and well, it didn't land any damage actually. As we were saying, that Smoke was playing in quite an aggressive position, and considering he is a Smoke, he does still have 3 canisters in hand, and he's going to look to try and find, you know, try and look, onto the main stairs and doesn't quite find one more. He is going to be still playing on that motor and playing very, very aggressive. The Finker is going to be trying to pre-fire with the LMG. Warden is also going to be, sorry.
no, keep on going.
I was going to say, Warden is also looking to maybe try and play aggressive, moves into Moto once more, and a lot of and a reasonable amount of damage onto the Finker, and now so does the Ying take a lot as well. Looking not the greatest here for Mako Destiny, and the Warden in the smoke is going to try and swing out, and he finds Loki. That's an amazing kill, and this could start all off, and he finds one more, but it's killed in quick succession. It goes down to a 2v2. Shark and Vega? I don't know how to say that name. Are the last ones left, but he finds himself taken down, and now it's a 2 versus 1, and the smoke closes out the round. I don't know how to say that name.
I think it would be Fiasco.
Fiasco, yeah, maybe.
Well, let's just keep it at that. If we butcher it, we apologize, but it's kind of sometimes I feel like it's T4 that has the most commonly kind of like names that are a bit more out of the line. I mean, we're not saying they're bad names, we can't really judge that, but it's a bit of a goofy way to pronounce it. Still fine though, we're gonna work with it. Fiasco it is, and Fiasco is gonna be on Yana. As we move on to gym and bedroom, now downstairs right there, it was a bit of a questionable decision from the Warden, although it did work out. I mean, the Finka just kind of got a mustache man 2 meters away from her face, and then of course the MPX bullet just directly in contact. So I mean, the Warden just ran for it. I mean, he ran and it worked. He just went into sight, got the sense, got the Finka, and managed to actually make it a 2v2. Although he did get refragged, he still managed to make a really big disruptance, managed to take back sight, which was important. He got the 2 people that were on site, mainly kind of causing the disruptance, kind of leaving the Ying-ish alone in the end right there, and then of course with the sludge along, they just couldn't do much, and they were zoned out apparently as the attackers, and yeah, it was an absolute just... That was the clutch for the Warden right there. It's exactly what we wanted.
Most definitely. Well, as you mentioned before, after gym and bedroom, then we've seen both teams at both potentials now. They've What I want your prediction. What's the site going to look like? What are we thinking so far of this site? How are Make Your Destiny going to attack this? How are Vega going to defend this?
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be most definitely a situation of taking cash. I mean, it's obvious. You want to take cash here. They're going to be going for gym. They're going to push up red. And I feel like there could be some Yana verticality with the nades onto the Wamai in cash. Then once they take it, they're going to progress in construction. They're just going to make a nice line through it. But I feel like I'm most definitely there's going to be a big gunfight in construction. In construction, it's all going to go down for just a split second, and then we're going to have kind of like a score to go off of there. And, well, I mean, not necessarily construction, but close enough.
YMK does take down Loki, who was on the Twitch, and I thought Twitch was an interesting pick. Quite a good pick, I'd say, pardon me, for this site, but no, nonetheless, we are going to get to see her in play as she gets herself taken down reasonably quickly, and, well, now it's going to be looking like they are going to be trying to struggle to clear out this Wamai on top red. Grenade has been pulled, and, well, I just can't get it on top red because of the Wamai disc. Smoke's gone out to deny the line of sight, and the grenade once more gone out, and Fiasco finds himself taken down as well by YMK. He's taken down 2. Will he claim 1 more? That is the question, and this Wamai is still remaining on this top red position, and well, it's going to be quite a nuisance as he takes some shots, and YMK, he finds 1 more. That's Ladsmo. That's crucial kill, and it's all falling apart. YMK picking apart this Make Your Destiny attack.
Yeah, I mean, Vega right now are striking back harder than ever. Most definitely. It's a 5v1 situation for Shark. I mean, he managed to get off a double kill the first round. Can he do it again for 5 people, though? That's the question. I mean, right now, the Zami, I don't think he can see her. But, of course, she does see him. And, oh, what a shot! Actually managing to flick on in the last second. Doesn't matter, though. The castle comes from behind just to finish off the job. And, yeah, I was expecting a bit more verticality from the side of Yana. There could have been nades. But, of course... yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting to happen because of, if Wamaya is there, if a Jaeger's there, nades and smokes and flashes, they're going to be used a lot more than they should be, especially Wamaya kind of relies on that, especially with a Zami combo. So, that altogether kind of cancels out just throwing grenades into cash. So maybe going from below could work. You can't really nade red from below since it isn't really blowable up, but cash itself could have maybe been a bit of an exception. Although in the end, yeah, I mean, YMK just absolutely dominating.
Yeah. Well, I also kind of felt, I'm not sure if you kind of picked up on it as well, but the attack was so one-dimensional. They kind of all just relied on pushing in through that
Yeah.
you know, that CC wall. And well, when it kind of didn't work out, and when the grenades to clear out top red didn't work from the Iana, well, then they kind of just didn't know what they were doing, and they, you know, and that's where YMK came in. And they all just kind of ran into YMK, and you know, he took one, he took the other, and guess what? He took one more, and then also they just kind of allowed them to have the upper hand, take the momentum really off this round, and steer the round in the position that they wanted to be. And well, then obviously it went to the Vega Esports round.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like normally you should kind of focusing on applying more pressure points so they don't have as much freedom as they
room,
did
shall we say?
Yeah, pretty much as YMK just did. He was just roaming around. I mean, he was taking one after another, and that's what you should deny. I mean, even the Thermite, he could have went to, you know, a bit of a focus on Jacuzzi, then switch that focus on construction itself, the construction single wall, along with, you know, cash a bit on the side. You should not just focus on just one side just as a whole. Like you said, one-dimensional push is not what you should prefer. And I mean, we saw how it works out. They just kind of allowed the defenders to go as they wanted, and with all the movement they have, I mean, the site is prepared for them, so they can move as they want, and it doesn't seem to work out for the attackers.
Well, we were talking about him at the start of the game, and he wasn't banned. We are seeing Flores being played for the first time in this matchup. We were talking about it at the start of the round, weren't we? Or the start of the match, sorry. That we found it interesting that he wasn't being banned, considering how much how utility based this map can be. You know, with all the deployable shields and all this, basically literally anything else that can deny anything on the site. And well, he's now being played as we're talking. Shark finds one. That's the castle off the board. Pozo, and well, that's quite a crucial kill. However, it's a reasonable trade as Shark does take a little damage.
Yeah, I mean, Castle gets taken out, Shark on low HP, but still has the grenades. He can still use the utility as the push on main starts to actually get a bit more active. And on pool side, I mean, these are the alibi prismas coming into play right now. You do want to be careful out for them, because the amount of intel they can dispute is absolutely off the hook. But this is going to get very aggressive. I mean, pushing bathroom with the door alone and kind of nothing else to go off on towards stop main, same goes for pool, is going to be a bit hard, as Loki taking some really heavy damage. I mean, the nades are coming out. That's going to be a one kill. Loki getting downed along with that Shark as the finish comes through, and now it's kind of a 4v3 situation with Sledge I mean, again, really low on HP.
Most definitely, and as you said, 4 versus 3, but I mean, it's not impossible. Vega have produced, magical moments so far in this matchup, but Jua, to deny YMK one more kill, he's definitely one to watch, YMK, and well, the mute head does take down Shark, but Fiasco does refrag take down one more, but so does Oxy. Peeks up from the main stairs and does take him down. He's on 1 versus 2. Jura and Lasmo are the last two left alive. Lasmo with the diffuser on hand on the ace does drop, and Smoke is out. He's going to be going to try and get the plant down. What can Ox do against Jua? But nothing he can, and Jua does take him down to close out the round.
Yeah, that round was very frag-based. I mean, especially with Azami just kind of peeking in the main door was a really risky pick. You couldn't have done much either, I get that was one of the fewer options you kind of had on hand. So even with that risky pick, you always got to take chances. But it didn't work out for the team's favor, as of course, I mean, Bathroom and Pool were just so heavily kind of influenced. I mean, it was a refrag one after another, and with that in mind, I mean, it just kind of came down to frags. I mean, site was prepared correctly, the attack didn't have too bad of a strategy plan either, and of course, in the end, to be honest, I would have expected a bit more verticality, a bit more aggression on Jim, a bit more aggression on, Master Bedroom, just to kind of flush out the Wamai on main.
Most definitely, and I mean, they are struggling, Miko Destiny, to sort of clear out this, not even the roam presence, just clear out the default angles, I'd call them. And it is a real struggle, and there's one thing that they need to kind of adapt quite quickly to and figure out why they're struggling so much, because, if you can't clear out the default angles, then you can't clear out the really, horrible ones that Vega that will end up playing. Everyone does. So it is an interesting thing that they are struggling, and it's kind of just a shock, really, as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, it seems like they're a bit more like, they don't want to progress onto other points. They want to really focus all of their aggression into just this one thing, and this one thing only. And it always seemed to be either, cash, it either seemed to be poolside, and that's kind of the problem. You don't really want to be too risky with it. That is true. You don't want to, because even in the first 2 rounds, when the Dokkaebi went alone, all the other 4s, I believe, just went to the kitchen side. It wasn't like 2 people go, you know, the side of lounge and then 3 people go kitchen or something like that. It was, they want to stick together, and I get, you know, refrags are important, especially with teamwork and utility usage, but you kind of still have to expand if you want to make a lot of progress.
Most definitely. And when we were talking about how, you know, dedicated they are to one side, I mean, this is a 4-man all on dirt side, if not 5. And, well, Bucky's literally just going to run and is probably just going to put this open. And, well, this really won't end too well. They do have 2 C4s in hand. This could literally be a 4-man kill on a C4 if they get the information. It's also probably going to be a rush as well. As Line does have the gun 6 in hand. And, well, here they come. Make your destiny. They find 2.
Oh,
they find 1 more, and it's all happening very, very quickly. Fiasco playing behind this shield, using it against the defenders. It was supposed to use the other way, but nonetheless, we're going to reverse card. They're going to be using it themselves. And now the diffuser goes down in a 2 versus 4 situation. Vega Esports not in the ideal positions, both pushing down blue, and, well, now met by the side of Fiasco, down but not out, finished off by White MK, and, well, now it goes to a 2 versus 3. Once again, not impossible to win this. Daddy Shark, I think his actual name is, does find 1 more, but Lasmu does take down the last 2 and to close out the round for Make Your Destiny.
No, it's an interesting way to adapt. Normally, we'd adapt by just changing the strat a bit. You know, normally they go kitchen. They would change their positions and pressure points like we were talking about. You know, instead of just going in one way alone, they would a bit more split up. This time, they adapted in a completely different way. Instead of not only just going one path, they went one path, all right, but they did it fast. They did it really fast. They went in through tunnel, whatever you want to call it, opened the door, Kate dead, everyone on side dead. I mean, the C4 wanted to come out, the mute's dead. And then, of course, the last 2 are just kind of stuck in blue, trying to do a bit of a really mission impossible in that situation. Although it did come down to a 2v3, in the end, Lasmu with a nice double kill to just finish it off. So, yeah, I mean, you know, it's still this problem. I mean, okay, they still won, yes. That's a very good thing that they won, but they still need to have some sort of change in the way they push. I mean, it necessarily could work most of the time, but that doesn't mean just because there's most of the players, like if there's 5 players on Raptors and there's 2 players on Cash, doesn't mean they're just gonna overwhelm them that easily. The site is made for the defenders to have an easier job, so, you know, you wanna, that's why pressure is a thing. But hey, it worked out. It was really enjoyable, to be honest. And I mean, poor Cade.
Most definitely, 4K did have 3 people in his face, and, well, then it didn't really end too well. 2 switches here, sorry, on the side of Make Your Destiny. We see Thermite and Sledge being brought in, and I wasn't quite sure who they were substituted for, but, well, nonetheless, they've been substituted, so that's all that matters. It is going to be, once again, a Cash side push. We see the Lion and the Thermite going to be looking to try and open up this wall as fast as possible. Well, this is exactly what we mean. This is now 3 people on this Cash side, and, well, I think, once again, it is going to be that strange push that we saw before, where they are going to open up Cash, but they are also going to go and open up Logi, and then maybe just drop, because that's what it did exactly last time.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We're gonna have to see in just a bit. I mean, it seems like they're having a bit of a different way or style of doing it, and now they're actually gonna split. This is what we wanted, and this is what we were recommending. The K trick is gonna be a bit tricky to go by. This is why you probably know most of the time bring Ace, the guy you know who has the fastest breaches in the game. But Thermite also works. Big Boom isn't a bad thing. And let's say, yep, there's the K. He gets, actually, are those both of the Thermite breaches gone? They're not gonna be able to get Jacuzzi, and you know, Impact EMPs would be recommended, especially with the Dokkaebi on hand. It's one of the operators not only you can't really go wrong with, but you can also bring in just because of the info.
But definitely poor coordination from the side of Make Your Destiny, as both Thermite breaches have been gone. Shark does take down 1. That's the castle off the board. And, you know, that's a good start for Make Your Destiny. They do have a 3-2 lead. Will they be able to make it a 4-2 split, though? That is the big question. Or will they be met with the demise of the forcible defense of Vega Esports? Fiasco, I mean, I was just about to hand it over to you, Bob, but Fiasco, he takes down 1, and, well, now moving into construction, it's met by the Azami, YMK, and does take him down, but it's all happening now. Pozo, he does take down Shark as well. It's a 3 versus 2, and, well, Ox, or the Wamai, sorry, did find himself taken down. Not sure when that happened, or why that happened, or how that happened, or where it happened from. we just know it happened.
We just know it happened, and that's all we've got. 50 seconds on the clock, we can include that as well. I mean, the Warden gets taken out, a nice shot from the Sledge. The plan goes down, and Decade wants to push, but it's going to be, yet again, a double kill from the side of the Sledge right now just to finish it off, just like in the first round and the last round as their attack right now. Just a nice little kind of irony, I guess. Not necessarily irony, but, you know, nice start, nice end. And, of course, 4-2 for the side of Make Your Destiny, and having that score as an attacking side, not too bad. Not too bad of a start. And, you know, this could most definitely kind of boost them and most definitely give them a bit of an easier time right now for their defensive rounds. As this is, you know, what I've been mentioning the entire time. Mira, you got to slip in the operators that are extremely strong, good for the map, and just when you can use them, might as well.
Most definitely, she is one of those operators, and especially on the site of Church and Arsenal, where we go first for this first side of the defense for Make Your Destiny, and this is going to be brutal for Vega Esports to combat. A mirror on the Church and Arsenal, where there's only one other place it can be worse, and well, that's CCTV, and we have yet to see that site be played.
Yeah. I mean, CC isn't really common due to the fact that it relies so heavily on main breach, and because also with the new release of, well, not new, but the not so old release of, you know, Impact EMPs, and then there's also the Maverick, and if you don't ban the Maverick, there can be a Thatcher, a Nook, Flores, all that type of stuff. Breach is a lot easier to get, and yeah, with that side just relying so heavily on it, it's most definitely not going to be picked so easily, but Mera can still do the job pretty well, even help out a Bandit Trigger. You know, yeah.
I'm looking at this side of Vega here, and there's two things I am very, very excited to see.
Oh, Fuse.
First off, we see Fuse being played, and well, we don't get to see Fuse played end of, let alone in comp. And well, I'm also quite excited that I want to see what YMK, sorry, can do. You know, he's picked on this Ash. He's picked up the Ash for the first time in this match, and well, we saw what he's capable of on the Azami. What's he capable of on the Ash?
Oh, goodness me, this is going to be an interesting match. I mean, the cluster bombs from Fuse itself is kind of just like a PTSD fueler at this point. I mean, you could call it just it's an artillery shell on your side. Like, come on, what do? You can run away, and that's as much as you can kind of help yourself with, but utility is going to get absolutely blown up, especially with a Mira Legion and a Zombie and a Kate and a Jaeger, who also all have, like, pretty useful utility, but at the same time utility that's pretty much spread around the site mostly. So Fuse is just a nightmare for these types of operators, and I mean, mentioning the Ash, this could be going one way or another.
Most definitely. Well, we did also see, I think that was Fuse going to be opening up the dirt walls. This is dirt walls, yeah. They're opening up the dirt walls, and well, that again is just something you don't want to be combating. As soon as you get these vertical control and you're on Church and Arsenal, it's something you want to combat, especially with opening up dirt, because now you have so many other entry points. 1 fuse charge, 2 fuse charge, and too many pellets to count go onto the site, and they are still yet to open up the kitchen hatch. I was saying this Fuse, he now opens up the kitchen hatch. It is, I'm going to assume, use his final fuse charge to deny any C4s, and as I say that, he does, and it goes out. So many pellets, and now a lot of util destroyed.
You know, you could delay the fuse, place it into kitchen, and use it late into the match. Let's say you place it above the diffuser, and then just wait to detonate it once someone is trying to defuse. You could also use that tactic, but doesn't seem like it's going to get put into play. Legion got confronted a bit, but yeah, this kitchen hatch was a very late open, and the execution doesn't seem to be getting put into place any earlier. I mean, the first frag just came in, and it's going to be on the fuse. YMK taking some damage very heavily, a fatal one to say the least, as another kill gets dropped onto him as we speak of him. 30 seconds on the clock. Execute is nowhere near, as the attackers are just getting shut down. Peeks the hatch, almost gets his head taken off, and oh, the flashes are coming out. This is going to be catastrophic.
I was about to cut you off, and I go, I hate to say it, but you know what? I cut you off, and now it's all happening. It's all happening at once. And well, Loki closes up the round for Make Your Destiny. I'm sorry to cut you off. I was gonna turn around and say, you know, 20 seconds, and you have the fuser in hand. What's gonna happen here? But
yeah, I mean,
well, then it all kicked off with 20 seconds left. So
it was just timing. It's timing. It's all right. Happens.
Definitely
happens to everyone. But I think what shouldn't happen to everyone is the score that's currently being set. I mean, it's a 5-2 for Make Your Destiny, and yeah, 1 round away, and they're going to be looking at a very nice match point, which not only kind of boosts the morality for them, but also kind of lowers the morality for Vegas. They're going to have to, if this round is going to be won by Make Your Destiny, Vegas going to have to win 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds in a row. Doing math is pretty easy when it comes to basic numbers, but will it be easy to take back this match for Vega? No, I don't think so, and we're going into gym. What I do like is a pick of the Ace to kind of counter the Cade, and also a Maverick.
Yeah, that Maverick pick is quite interesting. Obviously, he's going to be used to, I would assume, make those feet holes on the jacuzzi wall to then obviously counter anyone that's going for bandit tricks. Or K tricks, sorry. So this is a very good pick, and it's something to make your Destiny didn't pick up on their attacking side. And well, I think Vega have kind of realized, all right, this is what they're going to be doing. We did it to them, we did it to them, they're going to do it to us, so this is how we're going to counter it.
I mean, yeah, you know, it's a fair way to play it in this situation, but I'm kind of wondering how Vega right now is going to react to this construction-ish or cash hold. I mean, we saw Make Your Destiny, they liked a very one-sided, one-forwarded push. And for Vega, let's hope it's going to be different. I mean, we're already seeing the hatches on Logic are going to be open in an instant. And there's the mostly whereabouts of the side of the attackers are right now just heading towards Cash. We see the Ace, yeah, he's going to be going most definitely for the breach on to construction. As, yeah, this is just going to be a normal split push. You know, take hatch, or take Cash, take hatches, whatever you can. Just put as much pressure on Cash. And if you take it, just go on from there.
This is again looking like quite a one-dimensional push for Vega Esports. This is something that Make Your Destiny had, and Vega Esports are starting to replicate it. There was 4 people on that cash side. YMK taking some shots, none landed onto the opponent though. And well, it was quite a risky angle, but for both players it was at least, so that's nonetheless drone work. And well, when did the main breach get opened? When did that happen? They're aware of the Jaeger playing behind the shield though. Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, the breach did get open, but now it's kind of up to the point of where the attackers actually have to go in, drone out, use their utility correctly. Because if they don't use that opportunity as possibly as they can, or maybe get a frag or two for themselves, oh, what a nasty shot from Shark. Oh, I gotta take a lap around the room. Give me a second.
That was an insane shot from Shark to put the man advantage in Mega Esports' hands, or the Make Your Destiny's hands, sorry, but nonetheless it's all happening now, and well, some kills go out, Loki gets naded from below, and well, 2 are then killed from on the side of Vega Esports. Well, now it's kind of a standoff between both of these teams. You know, they have nothing really to get past in this util. It is going to have to be a run and gun moment, and well, Ox is going to be into the building on the Iana, and is going to look into maybe just try and face check and take as much map control as possible, and well, maybe even put some damage onto the Vega, onto the Make Your Destiny players, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of how late this Maverick hole is coming out. I mean, it could have most definitely been earlier, because with these late start type of breaches, you kind of give off what your plan is. I mean, if you could have just breached with the Maverick in the early end, left it, you could have just come back to it, and they wouldn't necessarily know you were gonna be there. With this, they have an all-out clue pretty much. Hey, they're breaching here, they're wasting their time, and there's 2 of them. It's a Maverick, maybe all 3. The Ana kind of going to be pushing Cash, which, you know, for the split push would be recommendable with 20 seconds left. She doesn't have much of a choice, and they're constantly rotating. This is not good.
15 seconds to go.
No, it is really not, and well, Vega Esports really have to quickly try and clear out these angles, and what a shot by Ox. But Fiasco does take down one more, and well, last move does taken down, but Fiasco closes out the round and puts Make Your Destiny on match point.
Oh, it's a 6-2 score, and this is looking really bad. I mean, this is what is Vega doing in this position? They had Cash, then they rotated 2 of them to Jacuzzi just to rotate back to Windows. You have to make a decision. You can't just second chance this and open up a breach late game in the last 30 seconds. This is now what they should be doing. And okay, in the start, it was a one-sided push, and it didn't seem to be going that bad yet again. Okay, the Ace did get clipped by the Alibi for a second, which a very nice shot to say indeed, but still, you gotta keep on going. You can't just give up and then go back and give up and rinse and repeat. It's a really bad way of thinking and doing things, and I mean, look at the score they've gotten themselves because of it, and also, you know, it could be the difference in skill, but it's still, this is most definitely a part of it, and a part you need to improve. Let's go ahead into basement, and yeah, we're going to be seeing yet again some... Actually, is this the first time we see an Rooney in play?
I believe it is, and it also is the first time I believe we see a Vega, no, a Echo in play as well. We are in the basement. We are at bar. We are in bar and stage.
Bar's going to be an interesting one. I mean, it's ironic how it used to never be picked. It used to be a meme site to be considered that, and now it's kind of just better than CC, which used to be, you know, the best site in the game, but, you know, with
your go-to site.
Yeah. Yeah, just kind of, you know, now it's kind of just left out. It's for backup reasons. If something has to go well and you want the enemies to be kind of flabbergasted, go CC.
Sorry, I love that word, flabbergasted. Yeah, but you do make valid points. I mean, it is just one of those sites where it's kind of turning into... It's kind of Oregon, really. Just one site, everyone knows how to get, everyone knows how to play it, and, well, it's quite boring by all accounts. Nonetheless, though, we haven't seen it once this matchup, and we are seeing a bar and games. The Logic hatch has been opened, and we are also seeing an IQ being played. This is a lot of drone work and a very quick push from this Iana here, and in quite an aggressive position. He seems to like to push these aggressive positions quite quickly, but they do have quite a heavy roam. Make Your Destiny, and, well, 2 in construction in the Azami barrier to be... Oh, not 2 in construction, 1 in construction, 1 in master, sorry. And the Azami barrier to be blocking the door. This could be quite dangerous if Fiasco doesn't get cleared out, sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, with the lack of nades they have right now, this Azami is going to be a real issue. They don't have an Ashe, they don't have a Zofia, and you're not really going to use a Thermite or an Ace charge, preferably, for the side of this Azami, so she could be a really big issue right now, especially with her walls just being kind of bulletproof, which is the reason she's extremely good, may I say. She is going to be most definitely a distraction and a really good time wastage. Look, she's already made pretty much a full blockade in construction, just continuing it all the way to master, and with a mute just kind of by her side, even with a C4 in hand, this is going to be not only a really good time waste, I'm assuming, but also this could turn out to be just a frag fest upstairs.
Most definitely, and I mean, this defense of Make Your Destiny is so spread out. 1 in Hookah, one in Master, 1 in Logi, and I don't even know where the rest are. We haven't seen them just yet. It is so spread out. YMK picking up the IQ this round. He isn't on the Ashe, and, well, he's going to be trying to maybe clear out this Echo. And, well, as you were saying, they are doing a great job of time wasting. 1 minute and 5 seconds left, but 2 kills come out. And that's the ace, and the... Well, it's all happening now as well. I'm just going to go back onto it. Fiasco finds himself taken down as the most latest kill, alongside his teammate Jua. And on the side of Vega, YMK, and I think it's Priv? That's what we're calling him from now. Do find himself taken down, and I mean, it's quite a you know, substantial kill. You know, it is the ace there. Sorry, one of the only hard breaches they have. They do still have the Thermite, but he does only have 1 Thermite charge. This Aruni still upstairs. It's in CC, and, well, now this has to be cleared out. Loki finds 1, and that's the Iana off the board, and, well, you find 1 more looking to play aggressive, and no, the Dokubi last move, he does take him down, and, well, Make Your Destiny, it all happens once. Loki closes out the match and gives Make Your Destiny 1 more round and does win them the game.
Yeah, it seems like yet again they couldn't really make a decision right there in the end. I mean, Thermite just going on to the outside pretty much of the kitchen door, and then, of course, Strip being pushed out of nowhere. The verticality was there, and even with a Rooney still upstairs late into the game, with a roamer, if they do a roam killer, might as well do it efficiently, you know? I was expecting kind of the side of... Yeah, I was kind of expecting the attacking side right there, or Make Your Destiny pretty much, to have a tougher time. I mean, they were doing one-sided pushes, the other second they were completely spread out too much, but that just seemed to catch the enemy off guard, and Vega, they didn't have much of a choice to go with there.
Yeah, and I think Vega just struggled to play this, you know, defending side of, well, Make Your Destiny, and Make Your Destiny did also struggle to sort of attack the side of Vega, so it was quite an even matchup, but just even on the defense, the attack for both teams were lacking quite, you know, they weren't the greatest, let's be honest. They're not the greatest we've seen, but also they did have very good aspects, and, well, Vega did have some good points, and they did well on pinching, and, you know, the roam clear wasn't 100%, but it was there, and it was very, very good. But I mean, I think Make Your Destiny were just so strong on the defense that no matter what Vega did, Make Your Destiny had some way to counter it.
Oh, it was a tough match, and the first one wasn't too different, yet we're still at a delay of almost an hour, but A very good match. I mean, to watch. Most definitely some interesting. I mean, the rushes were also fascinating to see. But both of these matches that we've seen today were completely one-sided, and that's a bit unfortunate. But I think